Hello and welcome to today's class. We're going to work on past simple and continuous. Today we are going to focus on contrast, how these two tenses contrast when they are used in texts and sentences. So both past simple and past continuous refer to the past, but obviously we use two different tenses because they have different, not only in structure but in meaning. So basically, past simple structure, when you use past simple, you need to write ed with regular verbs, and you need to write the second column with irregular verbs. The list of regular verbs is a very closed list, so you need to know them. You need to know it. Some of them can be written both with ed and the second column, so you can choose whichever way you want. And then for the negative and the interrogative, we always use the auxiliary did, as in present simple. Remember that when you use did, as it already has the past, that as already indicates past, we'll no longer use ed or the second column. So we use did, and the verb in infinitive. As for the past continuous, you need to use the auxiliary was, were. This is the same as present continuous, but you need to use the auxiliary in the past. And the verb with ing. Please remember that both with ed and ing, you have changes in spelling in verbs. Just check that. So past simple is used with past actions. Generally, when you're speaking in the past, you are going to use past simple in general. Then what are the other past tenses used for? Basically, they convey different meanings, different nuances. So what is the difference between a past simple sentence action and a past continuous one? So, well, basically, past continuous, as with present continuous, what the continuous tense does is that it adds duration and development to that action. For example, if I am in the sentence I studied English yesterday, I can refer only to the sentence to the action I studied English yesterday, or I can refer to the time I spent doing that action. For example, yesterday at 5 I was studying English. So in that second instance, I'm referring to a moment in the past where the action of studying was in progress, it was unfinished. Does it mean that that action continues or has some relation with the present? No. That is a past action, which means that it no longer has any connection, relationship whatsoever with the present. It is a past action, it is started and finished. But when I'm using a past continuous, I am referring to a specific time in the past where that action was not finished, was happening, right? So adverbs help me to know when to use one or the other. In general, when you use yesterday or last plus time, you're going to use the past simple. Specifically, when you use time and ago, you must use past simple. That is, ago always goes with past simple. And by now, for the time being, we're going to use when followed by past simple in general, right? Why is that? You'll see why in the next slide. As for the past continuous, we need adverbs or expressions that allow us to focus on the duration of the activity, on the fact that that activity was long, that was happening, that was unfinished and in progress. So while has that meaning. As for the hours, they help us to set a specific time in the past. So generally, if you're speaking about the past and you see a specific hour, you then just take a look whether it will be a past continuous. In class, it will always be a past continuous. And the same with while. When you have while, the verb afterwards, it will go with past continuous. So let's continue speaking about the structures, the when-while structures. That is why I told you that when you see when, you could expect that after when there is a past simple, afterwards after a while a past continuous. We have three different structures using when and while, and combining in different ways the past simple and the past continuous. First structure is I have represented it with a line, with straight line and a cross. Straight line would be a long action, an action that is happening, that is developing at a specific time in the past, that is a past continuous. And then the cross will be a shorter action, an action that interrupts. It is shorter than the other and interrupts it. So in these instances, you have to use past simple and past continuous. Past simple for the shorter action, past continuous for the longer one. An example of that would be when I was having a shower, the phone rang. The action of having a shower starts and then it's interrupted by the phone ringing. I may answer the phone or not, but it doesn't matter, because the action of having a shower will be interrupted. It will have to continue. I will have to come back to the shower and finish. The second instance are two crosses, that is, two actions in the past simple. Now, how do these actions relate to one another? So if you see the example, when the bell rang, the students left. These two actions happen one after the other. The bell rings, then the students leave, right? This is basically the structure you use when you are describing events in the past. You just talk about things that happened one after the other. So that's why I was telling at the beginning of the video that usually you always use past simple unless you want to give the action a different meaning. So last structure, two lines, which will be two past continuous, meaning that there are two actions that are simultaneous, that happen simultaneously at certain moments. They don't need to be strictly simultaneous and start and end at the same time, but they have to be developing at some point together. For example, Abba was cooking while Liz was setting the table. They not necessarily last the same. Of course, setting the table, you expect it to be shorter than cooking, but at a certain point in time, they develop together. They are simultaneous. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of practice. Here are 5 sentences. Try, and I'm sure you will do a brilliant job completing them with past simple, and past continuous. We will work on the solution in class and have a little bit more practice. I hope it helped. See you in class. Bye.